Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer, and welcome back to Tour de France 23. This is episode 38, as we continue on with stage 17 of the Tour de France, right here towards the end, and heading off into the breakaway right away, and quickly getting joined by 18 other riders in that breakaway. Quick programming note for the second episode running. I had one day where all three of my recordings, back-to-back episodes here, ended up with no audio whatsoever, so I'm having to go in and re-record a voiceover for this one that is overlaid over the top of the original voiceover, but there is no game audio in the background, and this is a re-recorded commentary. Okay, well, anyway, stage 17. Trying to secure that combativity one final time. I get into the breakaway. I've got 19. It's already down to 14 for the moment as the first climb of the day. It's a Cat 1. It's not an easy one, and as I got off the front first, I didn't have to put in a whole lot of effort, which saved a fair bit of energy, and as we head into the final kilometer, there's a big thing to go for here. Winning a Cat 1 is going to be better attribute points for my medium mountain and my mountain rating. I've won climbs at everything below a Cat 1, and at this stage in the tour, as we are going to claim this one, and there it is, lead at the top of Category 1 or All-Cat climb. We've done it, and we move right into the next climb, which is another Cat 1. Another chance to improve that rating. Also, I picked up 10 points for going over the top first on that Cat 1. I was pretty far out of that competition, but suddenly with those 10 points, I'm a little bit closer to being back in to the KOM. A lot of these riders that are here don't have anything left to ride for except the stage. So a lot of these guys aren't even bothering with the climb. Bardet, Harada are here ahead of me. I'm lined up third wheel. Plenty of energy as we head into this final stage. We're already down to 10, now 9 riders as the group is thinning out more and more and more. And we go into that final kilometer. For now, I'm following, not attacking. Following, not attacking. This is setting me up for a chance at something. Bardet is pushing on pretty hard. He's at the front. Mataway is also coming, but these guys just aren't really going for it. But there goes the red bar before we reach the line. I cut him off a little bit, but I give him the space. And once again, I go through first. That's 2 attribute points. This is a mega stage. We have another Cat 1 that we're now prepared for. And as we go into it, the peloton was shrinking, already down to a much smaller number as I head into that climb. But as we now go up this third climb, we were down to 6 riders already. A lot of guys just tired by this point, not handling the day particularly well. And so I attack right off the beginning, realizing that they were really setting up and not wanting to work. So I ride right off the front, and I'm going to take this climb solo. I'm a minute 3 ahead. I don't have to worry about the stage. They're thinking about the stage. I'm thinking about combativity, getting those kilometers off the front, and twofold now. One, it's another Cat 1 climb. It's another chance to gain another mountain attribute point. That's huge. That's the biggest thing. But I've already picked up 20 points on the day in the King of the Mountains classification. And I had been doing so well. Never expected to be coming back into the race. But that's 30 points today. 30 King of the Mountain points. I'm going to keep right on pushing. Problem is we have a little bit of a false flat here. And we continue to climb a little bit further. But because that little saddle that we had in the middle, they put the top of the climb back at the first instance, and now I'm using up the last of my energy trying to get over this and keep those guys at bay. So I end up bonking out before we get there, and what's left of the breakaway catches up to me. There's now 4 of us. We're also down to 53, now 48 in the peloton, now 38 in the peloton as we begin the final climb. So 38. I am taking time to drop back and protect my leaders. It's down to just Sivikov and Johannesson and 13 riders. So just 12 riders now in the chase group. There's 3 of us here. We're halfway up the climb, and I've hung on till right before the end. They kind of get away from me. I catch back up. I know I'm using my energy that I can't hang on. About 2 things. One, it's a little easier to follow these guys than it is to try to ride solo. And 2, I get another half a kilometer or another 1 kilometer off the front to secure that combativity award. So the final 2 guys ride off into the sunset. They're going to go on and I believe go claim the stage. I'm down to 3rd. It's Bardet, it's Iran, I'm 3rd, and now what's left of that peloton is breaking up. Sivakov was down to his last little bit of energy, and I've been caught by the front 2 guys who broke off as that has split up. We've still got 13K to go. There's a lot of climbing left, but that small peloton at the base of the climb has now disintegrated into 1s and 2s. Pogačar and Hindley, I stay with them for a moment. I speed up a little bit to hang on, and then as my energy starts to run low, I back off. So again, following helps. Evenepoel and Vingegaard, 3rd and 4th, just behind them, and we let those guys go right away because it was too small of a gap in between. So for now, I recover. I'm going to recover just a little bit. So there's the 2 breakaway riders and then 4 guys up the road. That now makes me 7th with 10K to go as Moss has caught me. So he's now 5th in that overall group, and that drops me to 8th overall. But once again, after I conserved some energy, now I'll latch on to Moss and follow him for a little while. As he speeds up a lot, that's going to expend a bunch of energy. He sits up, decides that he's done riding. It's my turn, so I'll take a turn and go to the front for a few meters, and then he comes back on through. Still following for now, but my energy is quite low. Down to the final 600 meters, Vingegaard has gotten to the top. He has overtaken Pogačar, overtaken Bardet, overtaken Iran. So this is now going to be a GC stage victory. But still 2 guys coming for the line. Hindley gets there first, and Vingegaard is 2nd. Pogačar 3rd, Bardet 4th. Evenepoel is 5th. I'm still 8th on the road, but I've blown up trying to follow Moss. I was watching what was happening at the finish line and didn't notice that he ran me out of energy, but we've been able to get back to riding here. I'm going to try to use the gel. We're almost to the top here, approaching the top. This is not the finish line. 6.8K from the finish line. We did not finish on top of the mountain, so descending, not the easiest thing for me to do, and very technical descent here. You can see Moss, who I was right behind, long gone, totally out of sight, and somebody has caught me from behind. It's O'Connor. We're going to go ahead and latch on to O'Connor. He gets us through the last 50, 100 meters of the descent, and we're going to follow him, but there's a little false flat before it then descends again further, and this time he's going to help me out. Into the final kilometer. Final kilometer is a climb. We don't have much energy. We're following O'Connor, and Caruso comes on through, and suddenly I'm down to 11th. Here's Roglic as well coming up. Sivakov has been on his own for quite a while. We helped him all the way till he was the last man and used his gel and everything else. But as we reach the finish, we're going to finish 11th. 11th on the stage. Hindley took the win ahead of Vingegaard, 36 seconds ahead of Pogačar, and then Bardet, Evenepoel, Iran, and then Moss, O'Connor, Caruso, Roglic. We take 11th at 5:57 down. Vlasov caught up to us right there at the end. Carapaz and Almeida, but it was just a 7:44, so like a 15th or 16th for Sivakov, which is pretty dang good. There was only, you had a few breakaway guys in that group. So for him, it was just about what his placement is in the GC. For us, that's a big stage, though. That is a big, big stage to come in such a position. But the combativity for the stage, 142K off the front, exceeded anybody else, and it has now guaranteed. We are going to win the combativity. But the surprise thing, I even got 2 points at the finish, or 2 points in those earlier climbs. 2 points at the finish. So I was still high enough up for the last 2 points. 32 on the day was a huge boost and brought me back into the King of the Mountains classification, which was completely unexpected, but I'm still out of it for now. Sivakov, though, 12th place. He drops one spot from where he was. Vingegaard leads overall by 4:42, but Sivakov is in contention, 12th place. He's got, just 4 minutes to get back into the top 10. He's not out of reach yet, but I've closed within 15 points of Vingegaard in the King of the Mountains classification and jumped back up to 2nd place. Pogacar is right behind me. Hindley has come along. Those are GC guys. So no breakaway guys are in contention for the King of the Mountains except myself. In the young riders, 4th for Johannesson, 8th for me. Glog is 10th. That's great. Great to see. I'm 2.5 hours down overall. Really not in contention, but as things stand, we move up to 7th in the team classification. And this has been a very unexpected quality race for us. And with that combativity, 15:44 versus 9:65 for Champs-Elysées, and just a few stages left to go, and not a lot of kilometers left. It's all but wrapped up. But in the individual rankings, I add in another small set of points. We pick up 10 today, 16th overall on 270. And as a team, we are 10th, adding those 10 more points. But I'm going to go ahead and quick sim these couple of sprint stages here on 18 and 19. There's 4 total KOM points, a couple intermediate sprints. Our sprinters are not good enough to compete, and that takes us right into stage 20. Stage 20, last chance. So I immediately get into the breakaway. The breakaway is 16 riders, but this is a short stage. First climb of the day, and we're already down to 115K. And so the effort to form the break, the effort to get the break off the front, is not leaving us with plenty of energy. It's leaving us extremely tired. And I'm already pretty tired as we head to the top of this first climb. Following Yates right now, surrounded by quality riders, but none of them are in the King of the Mountains classification except for me. But that doesn't mean that they don't want the honor of going for it for the day. So as we approach the 1K banner on this Cat 1 climb, 10 points, potential attribute point on offer. We're already starting to see some splits down to 14 as Scoins and Bashar have been dropped, and you can see nobody's going for it. No one's going for it. So they are completely out of this competition, and that sets it up pretty easy for me. But as I come up, you can see these guys attack to get back on my wheel. Is that because they don't want me to break away, or is that because they decided they wanted to go for the KOM in the end? I'm thinking it's more of they didn't want me to break away. But we get the 10 points. Brings me within 5. But just getting 6 points might get me the jersey that I'm borrowing right now, but it's not going to get me the jersey at the end of the day. So we're down to 14. It's Cat 2. We've got 5 points on offer here. This could technically tie me up, but as I'm doing some things, I'm at the back here, trying to rest, trying to recover. Remember, it's a short stage. Already just 77K to go, and I'm at the tail end of the group, and the group splits. The group splits. 6 guys have attacked and left off, and you can see that as soon as they saw the separation, they've accelerated. And so we've got some guys that are certainly interested in staying in contact, but I'm the one doing the hard work here. I'm the one putting in, 130% effort, and that group makes it over the top first. For now, Stuyven doing the hardest chase, so I'm going to follow him. There's 4 and then 2, so they've got 6 riders up ahead that come back together, and we are 24 seconds behind, and those are the stronger guys. They are really the stronger guys. We've got 3 back-to-back-to-back climbs here. It's now a Cat 3 for this one, and you can see 1K to go. The gap is growing to the front guys as Bilbao and Gall go over the top first. So again, no points. Crap. I'm still 5 points behind, and the profile at the end of the day is not faring well. They finally drop a rider out of the group. It's down to 5. We're down to 7. We're down to 56K. But here we are coming up on another climb. It's a Cat 3. It's a couple points. I could have been getting the points to at least match Vingegaard over this stretch. Maybe get slightly ahead. That would not have guaranteed a King of the Mountains jersey because the day finishes up on a couple of Cat 1 climbs. And there's a extremely good chance that he's going to pick up some additional points there at the end. And therefore, I need a cushion. I need to not just overtake him, but I need a cushion. And that group attacking has absolutely destroyed my chances of taking the jersey. Because now, not only did that group have the stronger riders and pull faster and pull away from us, and ultimately is splitting up, now it's down to just 4. The best riders from my group have now left the rest of us behind, and I'm in the third group on the road. So we've got 4, 4, and then 3, and then a peloton of just 30 riders who have caught the 3 of us. So now there's 33 as we head to the first of the 2 Cat 1 climbs back-to-back to wrap up the climbing for this year's Tour de France. The group is thinning out. We're already down to 31. We're also catching some more of those breakaway riders. It's starting to come back together. Sivakov, Johannesson are still there as I get dropped. Hard day. Really hard day. Short stage. Aggressive short stage. 25k still to go. Another climb still to go. Pogačar goes over the top first, Van Aert, and Vingegaard then picks up 6 more points. So, King of the Mountains, definitely not ours. On to the final climb of this Tour de France, and we've got some yo-yoing at the front with just 7 riders. Oh, and Sivakov's split off. So as they approach the finish line of Roglic, Evenepoel, Hindley, Vingegaard, Pogačar, Moss, Carapaz, Thomas, Martinez, Gaudu, Almeida, Bardet, Vlasov. No sign of Sivakov at this point. Van Aert, his group got dropped. You can see how he's solo. He's still trying to make his way to the finish line. Martin, Pidcock, Caruso, Landa, Bilbao. Sivakov comes in 20th. He's going to lose a little bit of time today, which means he's definitely not moving up the standings. Johannesson was 22nd on the stage, and I'm coming up on the finish line of the penultimate stage of this tour. And we're going to try to at least beat this group to the line because, why not? And I think that was for 25th on the day. Roglic wins by 29 seconds ahead of Evenepoel and Hindley. Vingegaard was nearly a minute down, but in the GC, it's still Vingegaard over Pogačar, Evenepoel, Hindley, Moss, and Sivakov is 12th at 44 minutes down, just 10 seconds ahead of Vlasov. He was definitely more at risk of going backwards than he was going forwards after those final couple of stages as he slipped down a little bit. For us, hey, that's points. That's going to be points. We're going to get a 12th in the GC. So Sivakov has made his way to earning points, and that's going to now push us into Champs-Elysées. Final stage, final kilometers, already 5k to go. We have no sprinters here, and it's really hard to set up sprinters properly in this game. You can get somebody to protect you, but that's about it. And as we go down to 1.5k, you can see just how aggressive those guys have been. So I'm trying to set myself up to still have the ability to sprint here at the end. But with 800 meters, you can see I'm 36th, and I'm telling everyone else to sprint now. It's final 700 meters even. And I'm in a decent enough position. I mean, I have the ability to do a fair bit of sprint. But you can see the main sprinters already take off. As I come through that group, I'm 22nd as we approach the line. Caleb Ewan takes the win ahead of Mads Pedersen and Van Aert, Buwani, and Alaphilippe. But GC locked in. Vingegaard, Pogačar, Evenepoel, Hindley, Moss, Roglic, Carapaz, Martinez, Caruso, Bardet, breakaway rider, squeezes up into the top 10, gaining time. Almeida, and then Sivakov. So Sivakov's one position loss really came down to a breakaway rider moving up. Vingegaard takes the KOM with 104 points. We got 92, which was equal with Pogačar in the end. We got close, and if that group hadn't broken off, 12 points was all that was in it, I think we would have had it. We were 4th in the points, but nothing doing there. Never would have contended properly. We do get 7th as a team, and I win the combativity by well over 500 kilometers, quite easily taking it. That part, fantastic. That's an achievement. That's an attribute point. All that time in the break, all those things we did, all those Cat 1s we did, and just riding the Tour de France and completing the Tour de France. is attribute points all over the place, development-wise, for my riders. That's really good. In the individual pro cycling rankings, it's Pogacar with over 1,000 points now ahead of Vingegaard and Evenepoel, but I come in 17th, adding another 25 points there for my awards. 295, my total. 295. That's awesome. That is so awesome. Did not expect. I had a goal. I had an ambition. I figured the combativity was the only thing I had a shot at, and we not only took it, but we took it comfortably. And we were competitive in other areas, and on a daily basis, we did exceptional things that earned us extra points, and that was way more than what I thought would end up happening. On that final day, we end up getting 90 points, so 65 points go another direction, mostly, if not all, to Sivakov, and as a result, we now have 641 as a team, just ahead of a close pack of 5 teams, kind of neck and neck within 100 points of each other, and then it's 150 ahead of us where the gaps start to swell. But if we could take the head of that group, that's a lot of extra money for development of the team and finding better riders for future seasons. We've done well. We've done much better than expected, and technically, we're the continental pro team in this whole mix, and we are surrounded in that top 13 anyway by World Tour teams till you get to a big drop, a 200-point drop down to Total Energies, and those guys aren't going to catch us at this point. It's those 4 behind that could overtake us in the final stages, but that's huge. That's going to do it for this episode, though. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. Bye for now.